Welcome back to another video. I am Gold Raven, and this one is on the non-weapon rare drops. First of all, I would like to thank everybody in the AEF that helped me make this video. I had compiled a list and I used all of your suggestions in this list. Now, of course, the list does include weapons, but I'm going to save the weapons for another video. This one here is going to be on the non-weapon items. Without further ado, let's get right into it. First, we're going to tackle the armor sets. The first armor set will be the Chiroptian armor, and this can be found in Darkovia. So you jump to Darkhurst. Now, who you're looking for is the Ancient Evil. Upon killing him, he has a chance of dropping this armor set. Definitely worth it because it looks awesome. You're going to want help with this guy because he is pretty tough. He also spawns in different locations around the map, and his spawn time is somewhere between 8 to 10 minutes. The next armor set is the Ancient Evil armor set, and no, it is not dropped by this Ancient Evil. You're looking for another one. To get there, you're going to want to head to Darkovia Forest. Just like the other guy, this one also spawns in random locations, takes about 8 to 10 minutes for the respawn, and he's pretty tough, so again, you are gonna want friends to take him down. The armor set isn't quite as cool, but it's pretty cool, and it comes with a pretty nice looking scythe. Next, we'll do the armor sets that are dropped in the chests. So the first place we're gonna go is to the Livingstone Alcove. This dungeon and this dungeon are pretty much the best ones when it comes to finding the golden armor set. And this is a pretty cool looking set. You get the pieces in the common, uncommon, and rare chests that you can find in these dungeons. Now, it takes quite a while to find the chests, and then when you do, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get any of the armor pieces in it, so this is a pretty difficult set to get. The next armor set we'll do is the Night Guard armor set, and I am a huge fan of this armor set. I never really wear it, but I still love it. To get this one, you're going to want to head to Bone Cliffs. For the Night Guard armor set, I found the best way to get the Night Guard armor set was by running the dungeon over here. This is the one in the corner over here, and it's called the Umbral Caves. You'll find the pieces of the armor in the common, uncommon, and rare chests. And it may take a while to finally find a chest, and then when you do, you may not get a piece of the set, so it is a pretty difficult armor set to get. The next armor set is the Oroku armor set, and this is also a really good looking armor set. You get this one by heading to Skull Tower. To get there, you can type in Join Skull Tower. Then you're going to want to run this dungeon. Just like the other dungeons, it might take you a while to finally find a chest, and then when you do, you might not get a piece of the Oroku armor set, because just like the other ones, you can find the armor pieces in the common, uncommon, and rare. The next armor set is the Under Guardian. Now this is for Guardians only, is one good looking armor set, and to get this, you need to head over to the Underworld Gate in the Underworld. Who you're looking for when you get here is this big guy right here. Now he spawns in random locations just like the Ancient Evils. And he also takes a really long time to spawn. I think it's like 15 minutes or something ridiculous. And the chances of getting the pieces of armor are pretty low, but eventually you'll get all the pieces, and I think it's worth it. But again, you need to be a guardian to get this. The next location we're going to head to is Ashfall, and you want to go to the Mount Ashfall camp. What you're looking for here is the Elite Dragon Champion set, and I really love this set. It looks absolutely amazing. Now you get this from 3 different places. Some of the pieces you get from the Dragon's Lair dungeon. Now this is the boots and the gloves. From here you get the belt, the helmet, and the cape. And then from here you get the rest of the pieces that you need to complete this set. They're all dropped by the boss. Takes a while to get them, so it is pretty rare. Next, we are heading back to the Underworld. And this time you are wanting to fight the Undead Warrior armor to get the Undead Warrior armor set. And this set looks awesome. First you gotta head in here, and defeat this guy. It's not a really rare drop, but it does take a while, especially if you're going it alone, but eventually you'll get it. The last 2 armor sets are located back in Darkovia, but you're not going to be sticking around here. You want to head to the Darkovia Castle. Once you get to this room, cut to the right and head down the little trap door. And then you got to make your way across this death trap. Now there are 2 armor sets here that you can get. The first is the Daywalker, and this is just a really nice looking armor set. So this is the dungeon you gotta run right here. This is not an easy dungeon, definitely not one you can do by yourself. You're gonna need multiple people helping you here. But if you manage to beat it, then you have a chance of getting the Daywalker set. To the right of that dungeon is the Lord Bloodrin's dungeon, well, tomb. And in here you have a chance of getting the Blood Vampire armor set, and this is also a really cool looking armor set. There are other pieces that you can get in here as well from Black and other stuff. They're pretty rare, not super rare, but it's just difficult to get because not a lot of people run the dungeons. That's it for the armor sets, and now we're getting into the helmets. The first helmet is the Vampiric Visage, and this you can get in this dungeon or in this dungeon, and it takes forever to get this helm, but when you do, you've got something really rare to show off. Jumping over to Greengard, you go to Greengard Forest, and if you head over here, there is a challenge. In this challenge, you have a chance of getting a very rare helmet. The Frogzard Ate My Head helm, and this is extremely rare, very low drop rate, takes forever to get, but on the plus side, the dungeon is really easy to beat. It's not so much of a dungeon as it is a challenge. It's the boss who you have a chance of getting this extremely rare helm. Jumping back to the Dragon's Graveyard, when you kill the Fireflies, you have a pretty low chance of getting a unique looking helmet. The drop is pretty low, and unless you really like this thing, it's probably not really worth it. But it is rare, so jumping back to the Mount Ashfall camp, you can head into the dungeons here, and you have a chance of getting the Dragon Skull helm. You also have a chance of getting the Dragon Champion crown, the Elite Dragon Champion crown, and the Elite Dragon Champion Great Helm. The Elite Dragon Champion Great Helm and Crown is dropped in the Extreme Challenge, and the Dragon Champion Crown and Dragon Skull Helm are dropped in the Regular Challenge. Of course, dropped by the boss. For the next helm, we travel to Darkovia once again, and we're heading back to the Darkovia Forest. And you're going to want to enter this challenge right here. This guy right here has a chance of dropping the Ultimate Cone of Protection. Now, this is not a super rare drop, but the fact that nobody ever runs this challenge makes this pretty difficult to get. If you head back to the Skull Tower, you have a chance of getting 2 helmets in this dungeon. The Necro Hen Hat, which is a personal favorite of mine, and the Corrupted Brain Slime. That's actually not too hard to get. The drop rate's not too bad for that one, but the Necro Hen Hat is pretty tricky to get because the boss that drops it does not spawn very often. Now, the bosses in this dungeon are random, so eventually you'll get the right boss that drops the right item. Final place for the helmets is back at Underworld. When you get here, just turn around and go into here. You'll see Deja's Challenge. In here, you have a chance of getting the Dark Horn and the Soul Blob. The Dark Horn is dropped by this big spider. The Soul Blob is dropped by the Renegade and the Dragon. They're not a super rare drop, but they are hard to get. Okay, the next ones are the armor pieces. The first one is the Red Dragon Plate. You have to head over to Ashfall for this one. And not just Ashfall, you have to head to the Upper Firefield. When you get here, you're looking for Valak. He has a chance of dropping the red dragon plate. It's a pretty low drop rate, might take you a while, but it's worth it because it looks awesome. Next place you want to jump is to Greengard Forest. Once here, just cut to the left and enter the Dricken Cave. Once here, you want to take on the Mother Hen because you'll have a chance of getting the Leaf Tunic. It is a pretty rare drop rate, and seeing as how you got to take on the Mother Hen yourself makes it a bit difficult for some people. For the next one, we're heading back to Darkovia. And if you have not guessed, we are heading back to Darkovia Forest. Once you get to this area, you want to cut to the left, and in this dungeon right here, you're going to want to run it. You have a chance of getting David's coat from the boss. While you're at it, you might as well go for the belt as well. These are two items that look really awesome, and they're definitely worth it. Speaking of belts, if you jump back to Ashfall, this time you're going to the lower fire field, and you're looking for a big guy known as Lava Lord Gorm. He has an item that is a pretty low drop rate. It's the Burnt Sash. Although it doesn't look super impressive, it is a low drop rate. Now we're moving into shoulders. While we're in Ashfall, let's do the ones in Ashfall. The first one is heated shoulder plates, and these are really cool looking. You get these from the Lava Rocky. If you type in join mine pass, down in the very back you're going to see something hiding. It's the Lava Rocky. All you got to do is kick his butt and you have a chance of getting the shoulder pads, but it's a pretty rare drop. Since we're in this area, might as well jump to another Ashfall area, which is back at Mount Ashfall Camp. Run the extreme challenge and you may eventually get the dragon shoulders. This is really awesome looking shoulders. Back in Darkovia Forest, if you go back into the challenge battle here, you're gonna have a chance of getting some leather shoulders dropped by the Leech Mara. Now, it is a rare drop rate, but not super rare. Again, the biggest challenge is the fact that you gotta fight this guy alone, unless you bring friends, which that is recommended. Now heading back to Lolosia and talking to Captain Rhubarb. If you enter Lonely Island or Smuggler's Den or the Red Betty Excursion, you have a chance of getting a drop from Shady Davis or Shanty Sandberg, the Shipwreck Shoulders. They're not an extremely rare drop, but they are pretty difficult to get. Heading back to Ashfall, this time to Magma Mines. You're looking to fight the Shard Pebblers. They have a chance of dropping the Shard Encrusted Fists. Now we're jumping into the capes. The first one is the Blue Cape. Now again, this is not a super rare drop, but you can only find this in the uncommon chests in Doomwood. Next is the Red Cape, and this can be found in the Greengard dungeons. You can find the Red Cape in one of the uncommon chests. While you're going for the Red Cape, you might as well go for the Traveler's Pack. It can also be dropped in these dungeons by a rare chest, but the drop rate of this Traveler's Pack is really low. Last is the White Cape, and this is dropped in the Skull Tower. Like I said, you can already get that by typing in Join Skull Tower. Running this dungeon, you need to find the Uncommon Tower chest, and when you do, you might have a chance of getting the White Cape. While you're going for the White Cape, you might as well go for the War-Torn Cloak, which can be dropped by a boss in this dungeon. The last cape on our list is the Blue Sweater Cape. Now this is dropped by the Wild Magical Bush in Frostvale. While I was making this video, I did discover some other stuff that is hard to get, so I decided to throw them into this video. The first is the Glacial Ice Armor. This is dropped by Sergeant Iceheart in the Ice Caverns of Lorne. He also drops the Glacial Warrior Helm. Heading to the next dungeon is the Blizzard Backwoods, and the boss here, General Hoth, drops the Glacial Horned Shoulders. In the Frostvale area, you also have the Icy War Fiend And along with the glacial horned shoulders that he also drops a glacial leech helm. The Terrasnoma that is in this area drops a glacial gladiator helm and a glacial knight shoulders. Now there are some other armors and things that are hard to get, but you can also craft them, so I didn't put them in this video. I also did not do any seasonal drops as they are not always around, so I left those out as well. That covers it for the rare drops of AQ3D, the non-weapon version. I will be making another video on the weapons, the rare weapons that you can get. So I hope this video helps some of you guys out there. If you want to check out my Twitter or the AE Federation, you can check the links in the description below. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye bye.